Hello everyone, and welcome to Ludo History. As usual, it's Saturday, so we're back with more Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Today we're actually not going to go crazy. It's a shocking turn of events, but we're actually going to be playing an arc that's aggressively okay. There still is plenty of weird stuff to talk about, but some of it is even good stuff to talk about. So, it's going to be fine. First things first though, let's see if they can immediately ruin our sanity with a, if it ever loads. If it ever loads. There we go. Nope. That still is just Sauron. Okay. I was hoping that they would launch a new set so we could be sad about it, but nope. We're still having truly fantasy looks. There's some good stuff, but there's also some weird stuff. So I've got some nice things to talk to you about today. Didn't have time to look up everything I wanted, so, you know, when I'm rambling about the Mithraium, that'll be a bit, rambly. Even by my standards, that'll be a bit rambly. But some of the other stuff, there will be lots of good things. Yeah. Okay, let's see what we're going to start with today. Reminder, as everyone. Nope, on Yarm, they've always allowed you to pet that dog. You just cannot pet your pet wolf. Let's see what we're going to start with. Let's run dual axes. Just to start. And the Magister's trousers. And the helmet. And we'll do that one for now, I guess. And that doesn't matter. And you know, let's keep the best cloak because it is the best cloak. There we go.
Word of our growing settlement has reached outside ears, so have a look around. You may see a few new faces.
I want to see the Alliance map.
Let's take a look at here. Today we are going to do, as the title spoils, London.
Hytham asked that I travel to London, but you know of it.
So this is specifically to do Metaplot. Hytham has told us that there are 3 members of the Order of the Ancients that have infiltrated the city. And we're going to try and purge them. So we are actually going to do like Assassin's Creed plot.
In a city so chaotic, it is worth a try. Approach by the north gate and start asking around.
Alright. Let's do it. So, this game does some weird stuff with London.
Good. I await your return.
I'll be honest, this game does something very weird with London in that it exists. Just the sheer fact of London existing in that form, in the form it does in this game, is in some way kind of pushing the limits of historical plausibility to a rather excessive extent. They tried to justify it. I don't think they succeed at justifying it. That's what I thought. I didn't think I was full up on adrenaline. Also, we have a couple of these, don't we? There. I don't care where they go. And what tragedies do you have for me today, Rada?
Greetings. What do you have today?
There is a Valkyrie sale. There are tattoo schemes. There's another mask. We can't afford it though. Ooh, that's interesting. That Valkyrie sale looks like it's a derivation of a runestone image from the 9th century, where it shows presumably Odin, given that there's a horse with 8 legs and a figure riding it, and in front of it are going a series of figures holding something, which is usually interpreted as female figures bearing cups, something known from a whole bunch of Norse sagas, including and Old English poems like Beowulf, where Hwalheo is the cupbearer for Hrothgar's Hall Heorot. So that looks like it's actually using a museum piece and then adding wings to it. So that's neat. But yes, we cannot afford that, so we will not use it.
Have you got a
But let's get our
contract for me?
dailies,
Another day,
weeklies.
another series of tasks that require
Yup.
a keen eye
Come
and
back
a
when it's
talent
over.
for
I
violence.
can't assume that they're going longer than 2 hours on the Overly Sarcastic Productions server, where
Monsters, they say.
lots of people are from, and they're currently streaming Hades there.
I'm kidding. The
So,
reward will be the same.
come back when it's done. We'll still be here.
I must take my leave. So long.
Goodbye for now.
Anyway. Let's see, do we have anything to upgrade our armor with? Doing all of our kind of basic work.
What have you got for
Making
me
sure
today?
we know what the heck is going on. We have 3 things of each. Okay. That means we could actually upgrade some stuff. Let's upgrade any of our armor here that's not...
Now you can take on anything.
That's not at least okay. Because weapons take 3, but armor only takes 1. Even though we have way more... Well, that was the only piece of armor we had that
All
was
my
not
pieces are good, but that one's
lame.
good.
Let's upgrade this one again, though. See what happens. See how crazy it can get. Hey, look! It's looking more and more like the Sudden Who helm every day. And... more armor. Let's see how bad this gets.
Word
Just
up,
because.
God.
Helpful game. Real helpful.
You have a keen eye for quality.
Absolutely. Totally helpful for the thing. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's bad. That's very, very bad.
This will serve you well.
And of course,
think
a
we keep
reminder
that
that
one
if you
done
want
for now.
to join me in suffering, you can, of
I'm
course,
off.
force me to
Well.
wear that helmet,
Until next
which
we meet.
let us show off correctly what that helmet looks like. If you want to force me to wear this, you can do so via the spending of channel points. 1200 lets you change 1 piece of gear, be that any of the pieces seen here, or one of my weapons. That does look like it's a regular helmet with crummy, extremely crummy stuff. Okay. Ooh, we may even be able to take on 1 or 2 of these guys. That would be fun. We're way stronger than them now. So let's actually go grab our dailies before we get going. Since it's been a couple weeks since we've seen, the real world. We've been stuck in Asgard, and the tragedies that resulted. Of which there were many. There were very many. We gave that guy nickel for that. Which is even dumber. Right, because remember, iron is a thing in this game, as much as the game likes to pretend it's not. But we upgrade our stuff by just slathering it in iron ore and leather. I assume that these wolves are our targets. Ow. Okay. That one wolf in particular is our target. Woo. Okay, music. I already killed everyone. Why are you still doing like battle music?
That should make the area safer for a time.
Well then. Wasn't that thrilling? We got opals out of it though, so I suppose that's worthwhile. Anyway, how's everyone doing today as we're riding here through the field so purple? I say field so green, but that looks a lot like it's just violets. Are you seriously not gonna let me jump off there? Grr. Grr. Okay. Yes, I am procrastinating before we get to London, just so I have time to, hopefully let more people come in. Niram. Then I hope that this is a distraction from your brain doing the stuff. Can we swim yet? We still cannot swim. Our horse can teleport across water, but God forbid they try and swim. I seriously don't know why they made that a thing the horse can't just naturally do. You have to train your horses to be able to swim. For some reason. And it is deeply frustrating. Instead, they can just be ethereal beings that teleport for no obvious reason. Okay. Come on, I know you're able to go up. It's tiny. There we go.
No! Get the murdering heathen!
What? Hello? Why did you think this was a good idea? They seem to have thought this was a good idea. Well, more power to them. What is this mysterious note? Mysterious note. Woo. Where is it? No, seriously, where is it? Oh. Well, apparently the Order of the Ancients paid them off. That's awkward. It went poorly for them, so I don't know why they bothered. You know, a couple of low-level brigands in Cambridge aren't really gonna stop us these days. Oh. Well, would you look at that?
Show me.
That sure does appear to be a secret entrance to stuff. At the Sunken Tor. In which there is equipment, which we'd like. Let's go. Nope. Eivor. Into the what? There we go. Note, kids, do not try this at home. Cave diving is incredibly dangerous, and you need a lot of preparation. You cannot just kind of jump into the water. I know a handful of people who have done cave diving. They are very crazy people. Woo. Oh, look at that. We got more terrible things. But it was things, so... That's just wealth. I don't care about wealth. You'd think, right? I have not been able to find that on my other file when I did this. When I did this one way back when, I looked around for the up entrance, and I could not find it for the life of me. Let's see if we can actually find it here, though, quick. So let's see, we need to go that way. Probably just need to go straight that way, and up. Right, I would have half thought it would be, like, right through the top of there. But it doesn't seem to be. It seems to be somewhere around... up here?
Cast about this land, my friend.
Right, because we go through, we could have crossed that way. Shouldn't it be somewhere up here? Right, unless I'm very, very blind. We should be flying right over the top of it. In very short amounts of time. I sure aren't seeing it. Unless it's that little outcropping right there? Yeah, that sure don't be. Methinks they pulled a sneaky. That's a good description of it, isn't it? Right, it could be out here. It doesn't look like it is, though. It could be over there. Doesn't look like it is, though. We go in, we go through here. Unless there's a hole right there? Directly above this other one. Nope. And, still nope. Not even a crack. Would you look at that? They just invented a place for it to fall down instead of making the world make coherent sense. Makes sense. Make sure that you have to actually, like, do the puzzle.
Need your eyes, my friend.
At the same time. Okay, so there's a guy there. There's a guy there. We are heading over for this one, but we'll kind of bamf around the world to do it, rather than dealing with the, like, 2 mysteries left. One of which is just, you know, one of the mysteries left in Cambridgeshire that we haven't discovered is just an altar, in which I think you need to use fish. Pretty sure that's fish. The other one is the nudist cult.
Shouldn't be seen.
So... and either way, no particular desire for that to be, part of the experience, even though they are not actually, even though they will not actually render
Go, my eyes.
full detail, except for the times that they do. Well, just whiff that one. Dang, I took 8 damage. Such a difficult contract. Right, for the most part, this game does a good job on being extremely
Shall we be deemed worthy?
non-explicit
Again at Ragnarok.
in its extremely explicit content. But they do it in like one arc. There's like one scene where they render half-naked female models. And they don't do it any other time, so I'm somewhat confused. I should be able to kill him now, though. Hey, Kendall. Screw you. Oh wait, I actually wanted to... I wanted to let him do that. Come on, throw a spear at me. Nailed it. Well, that almost helped. Oh, damn it, whiffed. That's not good. Ow. Ow. Wow. Okay, Kendall. Don't own me now. Come on, I'm so close to this kill. There we go. Smash his face in.
With me, brother. Getting tired.
Not really, no.
Aid me, O Lord. Get round the side.
And bonk. More thrilling combat.
Too slow.
Ow.
Focus. We have this.
I swear, the guy shoving me with his spear does more damage than... Or the guy with the bow who just shoves me. Where are you shooting at, dude? Easy. And stab the guy. So, there we go. Easy. Morning,
Now the
Peter.
trolls take you.
I have seen a crown on a cleaning basin. There it was. I stole it, ran with it, hid it.
Oh.
Some maggots feast on it. I am certain. Let them rule old Albion.
Well then, apparently you did an illegal. Apart from, you know, the being trained as a zealot. But apparently you did an illegal, so that's exciting. Now where else do we have to go? Okay, at this point we really just need to go. Fine, we'll go down here, we'll hop in our boat, we'll sail around the coast to London. Because I don't have a single... one single tiny useful viewpoint in order to actually like go to the place. Oh, there still is one guy? That's exciting. I'll just ignore him, don't mind me. And we'll head around the camp. Really don't mind me, I'm just gonna ride right through the center of camp. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Please go down. Yeah. And these other soldiers won't mind me. You know, all these wandering patrols of soldiers, they do literally nothing except appear whenever you actually have a mission.
In the fields. That barley is my hard work. I built the silo and managed our trade. All the barley was rotten when you were still in charge. Oh, don't spew hog shit. Both know it's because you're jealous.
There is no other
There. I have done the world event. I may have killed them both. And burned everything else to the ground. But that doesn't matter. Not even gonna bother to finish it. Cause why would I? For some reason this is like one of the two story events that must always exist. Of the who...
Let's get out of here.
Hello, cat. And it has the question of, you know, who owns the land? The person who bought it, or who does the business, or the laborer? Because apparently this shows up, like the exact same mission shows up in Northgard. And I don't entirely know why, like, the Norse world somehow becomes suitable for litigating capitalism versus communism. But it does. I'm really not sure why that's...
Drop the mast.
This is a setting that really likes litigating that debate and inevitably deciding this is a stupid debate.
Raise the mast.
Tis weird. I don't have the answer to that. I wish I did.
Shall we raise the sail, everyone? If you have a friend,
We'll share a tale.
here's a tale to tickle your sides.
Uh-huh.
Winter before,
Yep.
I was drinking in Stavanger with some companions. With us in the mead hall were men of barter.
Oh, Sneglerhatla
One of
Thoughter.
which was a
Yay.
poet named Halli, called sarcastic Halli by most. 7 ale horns into his night, Halli stood upon his table and called across the room to another man, a skald named Chodol.
We'll pick up from there.
Seriously? Don't interrupt my story. I want to hear Sneglerhatla Thouter.
Where were you?
7 ale horns into his night.
Oh my god,
Halli
Brage.
stood upon his table and called across the room to another man, a skald named Chodol. Chodolf! He yelled.
Theodolver, by the way.
Beautiful poem with my belching than you could with your tongue and fine words. The room laughed. Chodolf loudest of all. I accept your challenge, sarcastic Halli, he shouted. Allow me to begin. Chodolf then spoke this verse. Sad Halli drowns in horns of hubris, squeaking like a stoat, yet proudly the pup calls it poetry.
Continue later.
Stop interrupting my story. I want to hear the story because this is coming out of an actual saga in a shocking turn of events.
Were you at the good part yet?
Chodolf then spoke this verse. Sad Halli drowns in horns.
We're just gonna sail in a circle until...
Squeaking like a stone, yet proudly the pup calls it poetry. The room laughed again, with Halli joining in. Then, Halli tripped across the room and opened his mouth to speak his verse. From his throat erupted a jet of vomit into Chodolf's face. His only composition that night, of which he seemed
Lower
most
the mast.
proud.
Voila. So, that is part of a short tale called Snegluhatlathauter, or literally the short saga of Sarcastic Hotley.
Raise the mast!
Now, Snegluhatli supposedly died after he retired from being in the court of Norway, in the court of Eirikr Bloodaxe, or Eric Bloodaxe. Oh gosh, I nearly got smashed against the boat and died. That would have been awkward. And he was extremely fond of porridge, and he may have been poisoned upon his retirement and return to Iceland, but regardless, the way he dies is that one day he's having his daily porridge, and he chokes on it, and just like randomly keels over a little bit. And when this is reported to Eric, he just laughs. Jarl Eric was extremely fond of him, kind of, even though he insulted everyone. Especially Jarl Eric. But the saga seems to think, like, he insults Eric, Eric gets very mad, and then he weasels his way out of it somehow. Repeatedly. It happens like 4 times. It's grand fun. Anyway, I did, in fact, just fall into the Thames. This shore is the Thames.
Go, Sunan.
So, London. It is far and away the biggest place we've seen so far in this game, which is meh. Fine, I guess. But here's the thing. All of this, all the way around the walls out there, through the fort there, and around the walls here, all of this should be abandoned. This city is not inhabited in the time in the 9th century. That city right there, that city's exists. That city right there, that city exists. It actually gets founded right around this time. This whole place should not be occupied right now. So, we're dividing the city of London. Oh, Watcher, the aqueduct is also you're right, it's too ruined, but also completely nonsense, because the Thames exists. You don't need to pipe water into London. They have a river. And so yeah, the aqueduct here truly existed for the sake of the one thing, the one point right there. Literally just the one animus anomaly that was right there. That's the entire reason why they created this aqueduct. But yeah, we're going to divide the city of London into a few parts here. We have London Burh, which is the fortified city. If you remember, in East Anglia we had Burg Castle. Lol. But Burg is a derivation of the Old English word Bur, which refers to fortified settlement. So, the walled city, Latin Londinium, in 886 is refounded, and the walls are rebuilt by Alfred the Great, and the city gets named Lundenburg. The town over here is London Wych, or London Port. If you think of like Greenwich, which is, right over here, that's the same word as part of that, and the Green Port instead of London Port. Then we have Southwark. It still is called Old Southwark. Southwark. in Old English. So that gets founded, and then the bridge between them is fortified. This bridge should... The bridge exists, but shouldn't be this built up. London Bridge does not... Well, actually... Is that even London Bridge? I think that's the site of Tower Bridge, isn't it? In the modern city? Because the tower is right on the edge of the walls of the old walled city in the square mile. Which, this is the edge of the walled city, so the tower should now... In the, what, 13th century? Should get... 13th and 14th century should get built up right here. And then... This should be Tower Bridge. Weird. Meanwhile, yeah, London Bridge would be like right here. Regardless, I think whatever bridge this is supposed to be, there is a bridge in the 9th century that goes between Southwark and Lundenburg. It gets fortified, and the settlement of Southwark it kind of exists to help control this side of the bridge. Yeah, what they're saying is that this is supposed to be the Roman... Because this game is complete Romaboos in every conceivable way. This is the Roman bridge that collapsed and they put a wooden platform in between them. There probably was a Roman bridge, but it was not still standing in the 9th century. It just isn't. It's just not reality. So, yeah. This, honestly, ends up looking a whole lot like... Well... I prepped myself... This map, doesn't it? It in fact looks almost exactly like this map. Which tells you something. And by and large, what they are saying exists here are Roman buildings. You know, you can see there's a few English-style buildings with the thatch roofs here. But by and large, they're saying that they are restoring and maintaining the Roman buildings for some 900 years. So... it's a decision. Now, the landmarks in it are pretty clearly derived off of this map. You can see, you know, we've got the Colosseum, right there, and the fort right there, and then the big square thing right here, and then in a few places, you know, underneath, we have, you know, a bathhouse here, and then there's a temple. The Temple of Sulis Minerva should be somewhere along the coast here. And then... the Mithraic, which we will see in a little bit. So, we've got all of the right parts of what you would expect based off pretty much that map. It just... That seems to be kind of what they're basing this all off of, is a map accessible on Wikipedia, which is a reconstruction of the city in circa 400. Right, of some of the biggest landmarks in the city in the 400s. Problem is, basically immediately after that map, a plague hits the city, and then Roman control totally collapses, and all of this gets abandoned. And they build this, which is now the Strand, but all of this kind of gets just dropped, and remains pretty much empty until 886. There still is some evidence of use, in that large parts of the city, like what we saw in Cambridge, would be used as animal feed. So it would be turned into pasture land within the walls. And there's some evidence that the amphitheater was used for moots, or kind of thing gatherings through the early Middle Ages. So as far as that goes, you know, there still is occasional travel and use inside. But this basically is the Roman city, scaled up a little bit. Gee willikers, look at those statues. And then claiming that that is continued to be used the whole time. And maintained in pretty good condition, to be honest. Like, not fabulous condition, but, you know, this guy's missing his head. But most of the buildings are intact with art still surviving on them. Which is just not how it's done. It's just not. More often than not, when the early English were building a city on a Roman site, they destroyed the Roman site. Because they just... Why would you convert the temple when you could build a new temple in what is fashionable in the time, and you have a whole-ass quarry pre-cut for you? Just a whole quarry. Present. In use. Easy. No big deal. You don't have to go mine the stone yourself. You can just knock down the pillar, and then lo and behold, you've got some stuff. What's going on here? Oh, yes. Right. So in the area here... I know they're all close by. I don't remember exactly where close by actually is. But, you know, there's 3 musicians who are basically the band broke up. It's the Beatles. They're called the Gleemen, but basically, you know, the beat. Yes, Kit? I cannot hear you. Where are you? That's one of them. Yeah, I know. But as terms of like the cultural sad day,
God is good. God's love lingers.
there's one.
God has saved me from broken fingers.
I've
Right.
never seen a nun play such an instrument.
I learned the tile harper from church. I used it for coin. Turned away from God to a life of sin.
Sure.
The Gleemen, we were called. The finest bards in all London. Our music moved statues to tears, but no more. The Lord demanded I return to the fold. I begged to join me. Music and dice have led her astray.
Okay, that was weird.
She and that
There was an
Kino.
audio glitch there.
All
Apologies
my
for that.
financial woes stem from their
Yes, that's
greedy
you mean.
shenanigans.
What the
Like
heck
enough
is
to
going
send you
on?
into hiding.
How dare you imply that I hide behind my cloth from men who would break my instruments for a mere 50 silver?
50
Jesus.
silver I can cover. But for that sum, I want to hear the Gleemen perform together. One last time.
Oh, you are temptation-wrapped redemption, stranger. I have missed the dice.
Her bow despawns. Oh no, what is well-programmed game. Oh my god. So that sure was a thing. That sure do be a oh, by the way, it's St. Paul's.
Show me what lies ahead.
St. Paul's looks exactly like a standard, stone early English church here. Which is, you know, not terrible. Because this church burns down. That church is rebuilt as a Gothic cathedral, which then burns down. Which is then rebuilt as the modern cathedral, Baroque cathedral of St. Paul's. So this is two St. Paul's early, but it's St. Paul's. So yeah. By the way, the fact that they called it a tile harpa, I think that's like assigning a name that we don't have for the Old English. Yeah, that's not... They're... So... Basically, what that is they're using a reconstructed version of a lyre from the periods, similar to what Benjamin Bagby actually uses. Oh. Well, that's what I'm looking for. Kaboom. Yeah, everyone flees. Everyone run away, come on. I have stuff to do. Like, a single thing to loot. Once again, seriously? There's a key somewhere. How unhelpful. Fine. I don't have a way to do that. There it is. Nope. Yes, that was clearly what I wanted you to do, Eivor. Ugh. Since I am out of adrenaline to just blow it up myself. Ow. Well, that didn't work. I should have jumped one more time. I wonder if that's still... I have no way to pick it up. Well, that's awkward. They do not near them. The Roman sewers are not even modeled through most of this game. There's just like there are fragments of them that just kind of exist. And are randomly blocked off in their entirety. For reasons. Well, we didn't want that thing anyway. Oh, there's someone out here. There's one more person. There you are. Uh-huh. Wow, that was incredibly aggressively Cockney. Wow.
This is not the first time I've heard a skull sing through tears.
It's my beloved Ostrid. She loves me no more. Thus my quill stays dry. No poetry falling from its once proud beak.
Can you only write verse when you're in love?
Surely. I've not written a ballad about God since I was a girl.
Uh-huh.
Love moves my heart.
Some of the best verses I have ever heard
I
were
see.
thrown in battles of wit and rhyme, not lovesick crowing.
Oh. I have never seen such a battle. Please, enlighten me.
Glory or breakfast? Chat. Which poem shall we recite to them? Oh, yes. Totally platonic roommate. Yep. Yep. Definitely not canonically bi characters in our video games. Breakfast.
My breakfast was nothing but curds and some whey. 'Tis a bit bland, but keeps hunger away.
Poetry about food? I quite like that. Yes.
Breakfast.
Berries make merry. No.
I should like to hear what music you write. Will you perform it somewhere?
Most agreed.
If I can get Keener Wolf's bastardly face to help me with this meter. But you will have my thanks in this performance regardless.
Ta-da! We have saved someone's musical career by with the sake of breakfast. Anyway, there's like a prison somewhere where the last guy. Right, he's in the frickin' fortress, on the other side of town. Ugh. Fine. We have to go there eventually anyway, so we'll pick him up on the way. There's a bunch of other places. Where are we actually going? Wow, there's just so... I forget just how much annoying stuff there is in this town. Literally everywhere all the time. I like the streets, by the way. The streets being made out of wood here, even as a lot of the rest of it is unfortunately drowned. I don't love that part of it, right? There's no obvious reason for the city... Oh, this is just the other side of the sewers. Okay. Right, there's no obvious reason for so much of this city to be underwater. But the road construction is still correct. Okay, there's another entrance there. Where are there more things? I want to find... I know there's a bunch of, like, gear around this town. Because gear is important for us, just because it's more things for you to torture me with. But I truly cannot remember where the heck I am going. I suppose I haven't actually marked the quest, have I? I did not actually mark the quest. That would be why. I'm smart. Why don't we head over and actually, like, start the story here? There is the Hidden Ones Bureau. We will locate the Hidden Ones Bureau eventually. There's not that many places where it can be. And we have to go close to it anyway. It's just past the Mithraic, isn't it? So, it's actually really close. Okay, this is just the... This is the same one, yes? Yes, there's the two of them. There. And we'll get to this one along the way. Okay, that's just wealth, but that's nickel, so that actually is the one we need right now. Where actually is it, though? Oh, it's on the other side of this thing. Yep. Yep, that's the... We'll have to go in there eventually later, so we'll deal with that then. Ow. Okay, okay. So we're running past all this stuff, and 7 frames per second birds. Let's go. We're actually gonna, like, start the story, rather than sitting around and just bumming around the city in a shocking turn of events.
The Cripple Gate of London. Might find an official worth his salt here.
We might. We definitely might. Hey, look. I wonder if it's this guy.
We'll have this rat cleaned up in no time. Keep it steady, huh? Love. Hey, bear up, Master Ame. You'll be on your way shortly, huh?
Something of a shepherd, aren't you?
It can feel that way, aye. Can I help you with something?
Who governs this burr? I would like to speak with him, if I can.
Ah, the Governor Trigger. Good and fair Dane come to London 4 years back.
4 years back.
Aye, most hours of the day you can find him at the old villa.
Okay.
Dealing with all manner of knavery. Stow!
So. That pretty actually reliably dates it.
Of the summer harvest.
Hey, I wonder if Avgos is a bad person.
Huh?
Take your bets.
We're talking.
Gentlemen, the farmers of Mercia have paid their burden already. If Avgos wants more, he can petition for it. Petition for it? Well, you can tell that old mud merchant. And if he wants his apple, he can bob for it. Belongs to Master Ame, sir. Bob for it! That is filthy. Bob for it!
Well then. What a strong opening. What an incredibly strong opening.
Is this kind of noise common to London?
No, we've a quiet day once in a great while. Hey, try not to kill anyone, eh?
I'll wear your face as a skull cap stone.
Dang it.
Eyes on your own foe!
Exactly.
God in heaven, you fight like the devil's stolen your bread.
You give some hard knocks yourself.
Road, be a good lad and prick the names of those that pay their food tax, will you? Right then. You've some dealings with Governor Trigger, was that it?
I'll have dealings with any who can deliver a fair friendship with my Raven clan. If that's you, then all the better.
Ah, no. Trigger's your fellow. I'm the Shire Reeve of London's westerly half.
Uh-huh.
Things ordered and fair.
Sure. That looked like there was an eyeball bug on his...
Reeve's my title, sorry. Stow's my name. Stow of London.
Chat, what are we gonna do? So, yeah, in the conceit of this game, which actually they just dated themselves, so if it was 4 years ago, we must currently... well, we don't strictly have to be, but it is most likely that we are in 876 CE. I'm aware that the romance goes nowhere, the question is, do you just want to make Stowe extremely uncomfortable?
Take me to your governor, Stowe. He sounds like a man worth knowing.
Right then. Station field, flock shepherded, and off to Trigger we go. What can I call you? Humbler of thugs? Dane Hammer?
I am of the Raven clan. We have a settlement to the north, just off the River Nene.
Well, I owe you a great debt, Eivor. You're a
Indeed.
worthy ally.
He's got a, by the way, metal shield. Once again, those aren't things.
A city built by
And
giants.
then he also has a,
No place, surly as they come.
quilted
But there's a mystery here.
quilted and leather jerkin, which doesn't exist, and a longbow from 200, or longer than that, 400 years later. So, Stowe's design, even though he is an excellent character in every way,
And for a penniless bastard, I turned out pretty well.
A penniless bastard, and now London's fearless Reeve.
his design's kind of a mess.
Trigger, who saw something in me. He judges not the circumstance of my birth.
Yeah,
Two
about
hands,
that.
Left and right, on me and a Dane-born soldier, Erke. Erke's an orphan of the last Viking horde put down in London for a season. Wait. Something.
Ah, dang it, I ran too fast. Okay, so they actually...
Fresh.
These were good men.
Never mind, they actually dated this. So they're saying that Trigger came in 4 years ago, but that Erke came in 2 or 3 years ago, after Gluthrum's army stopped. So that actually pushes our date earlier, to 874 or 875 instead of 876. Because in 871, the army moved from a little bit after Repton. And they went south and attacked England, attacked Wessex, and then went to London and stayed within the walled city.
Deliver these men with the light of thy countenance visiteth and shines upon
Oddly, over that winter, while they probably extorted, while they probably extorted London Witch, the city that city wasn't totally abandoned. It had been in decline since the 850s, so it's an extremely small settlement, partly due to pressure from the Vikings, but it still existed all the way up until Alfred refounded it and moved London Witch inside.
If this one had a head, you'd be calling him Trigger. Yes, your governor?
God above, the man is dead. Some respect, please.
We'll get along well, you and me.
You must be Erke.
Well then.
London's second Reeve.
Erke Botel's son, yes I am. Are you telling me this gut bucket called me second reef?
First in the Eastborough, and a man I trust with my life.
Stowe's never been a good judge of character.
Well, you can tell they have an extremely healthy relationship. They are adorable.
Friendship with the clan.
He would have welcomed you heartily. He was a trusting man.
So, yeah, by the way, great murder was done.
Found anything?
I just arrived. The killers left a ladder on the body there.
I'll have a look around.
A lot of blood. Even by the standards of a lot of blood, that's a lot of blood.
It must have been known to him. Well enough to get close without suspicion.
This letter. Someone wanted us to see it. From Rome went an order of heretics who worshipped the relics of a time before Christ.
Erke, this was the letter he told us about. Said it contained fearful news about London.
It warns of free such heathens who have infiltrated London. His killers, I expect.
Well enough to get close without suspicion.
Good and holy Christ, that could be most anyone.
That's a lot of arrows, by the way. That's an excessive number of arrows.
What is it?
Dirty notes from a mistress. Sorry, mistresses. Intriguer's desk.
Ah, yes. The old man had a wandering hand.
Yeah, that one's legitimate. Seriously, Stowe?
Didn't think.
He didn't want you to. It was his secret to keep.
Seriously, Stowe, you didn't guess that a mayor of a city
You paint the city's faded bricks.
would not have mistresses? Seriously? Stowe. Stowe, my guy. Yes. This is not the first time in this game that they have used a comical number of arrows. What this essentially is, actually, is this is a reference to Saint Edmund of East Anglia, far more than it is to any other historical figure. According to Alfred's Life of Saint Edmund, after Edmund was captured by Hingwar and Hubba, their men got extremely drunk, turned him into a pincushion, and then cut off his head. So that's kind of about as explicit of a reference as you can possibly get. Then, of course, the miracles start happening, but that's neither here nor there. Huh, there's more blood right here. Gee, I wonder what's going on.
Surgeon's tools, sharp and precise for easy butchery. Must have been what was used to free Trigger's head from his neck.
As opposed to the other options of an axe. If they're using like a, wait, did they say it was actually a barber surgeon's tools? Barber surgeons don't exist yet.
Can't make head or foot of all this. I just...
Barber surgeons are later.
Look at us, sitting on our laurels while Eivor does all the work.
Yeah, I'm good at doing all the work. Ubba. While London never gets as cold as Norway, it rains here nearly every day. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well then. So Trigger was willing to just give up the city to Ubba. Who, you know, would be a pretty good choice as far as it goes. Certainly better than the options of letting Ivar be in charge of this city. God, that would be terrible. Yes, quite. By the way, don't you love this aggressively Roman hall? Like, they truly did just nonsensically convert a Roman building into a governor's hall. Complete with, you know, our central courtyard, though the roof has been sealed up. There is no open courtyard like what we see in like the houses in Pompeii. But there still are paint on the Corinthian columns and these wall murals. And, you know, fragments of paint left intact there. Correct artistic styles for late antiquity. Like, this is a totally plausible late antiquity kind of house building. It's just that in the 9th century, it's completely ridiculous.
I do not envy this man's death. Hang on, there's something in his hand. This was not Trigger's seal.
No, it looks Roman in origin. Must have been on a ladder he opened.
It must have been significant to this
Hello,
guy
AC.
to grasp it, even in death.
Mayhaps it's what got him killed.
Nero, there absolutely would be a need for the E there. because that's not a grammatical ending E, given that there's an S on the end. So, that's a stem E, which means that you do actually need it there. So, good try, but Old Norse would in fact like... Old Norse would like the E to be in place there. Even though, you know, obviously, poggers is not an Old Norse word. I don't know if this murder is very poggers, though. It looks a bit murdery. Okay, what thing am I missing? Oh, the blood in the center of the floor here. Okay.
2 average, and 1 massive. I think I have a clear idea of what happened here.
That dude is fairly tall. That dude is like a middling height.
Shot where he sat, probably as he read the letter. One of his guards grabbed the seal and tried to escape. He didn't make it. A second killer found him first. He met his end at the noose, lifted by the bigger man. A third attacker took his eyes, then came for Trigger's head. Symbolic, maybe. Headless leader, eyeless guards. The killers were without fear. This kill was a message. Their footprints leave together. 3 sets heading back to
Oh no, he's about the same height as those statues. Oh wow, they cleaned... You know,
named only by monarchists.
that letter cleaned up quite nicely.
The arrow, the compass. Signed by someone calling himself a poor fellow soldier.
A poor fellow soldier of Christ.
Poor fellow soldier. Odd name.
3 names, 3 killers, as you said.
Baldersack. It could be anyone in London. Who can we trust?
Only the people in this room, I fear.
Even that would be unwise until we know more.
Right.
Arrow is described as a
Yeah, except that you two can obviously trust each other. You two can obviously trust me. So Eivor is the only one who can't trust anyone.
Home to many of them as well.
And the compass, a Frankish captain.
Less common, but no face comes to mind.
Uh-huh.
What is this symbol here?
I recognize that from the Mithraic Temple.
So,
I passed it on the way here.
Mithraic Temple.
let's see how
Is
they
that a
explain
church?
the cult of Mithras.
Heavens, no. Mithras was a pagan idea. A so-called god beloved by the ancient soldiers that built this.
Okay, that's...
Our city is overrun with cowards.
Okay, they're not wrong. You know, Mithras, the cult of Mithras did gain a lot of traction in antiquity with the traveling of Roman soldiers.
Can't leave him like this.
But is this weird, complicated...
Need to.
We'll get the church to see to it, Stone.
No. No, it should be me. I must ready him for judgment.
I understand.
Anyway.
Only get some air from time to time. It reeks in here. Shall we, Broga?
So, yes.
Well, now the locals have caught a whiff of this fatted mess. The
Yep.
temple is yours to explore, Eivor. It's to the east of here.
Gotcha.
I must wear my Reeves face for a time. Keep away! Keep away! The fight is over. Town hall will follow soon.
Okay. So, yeah, their words.
Should the Reeves change
Let's
their
try that
minds,
sentence again.
I will have to gut them and put a puppet atop London's throne. But Stowe seems a good man. I will trust his word.
There is a temple to Mithras in London that still stands to this day. It is largely underground, as we're going to see here. They do it reasonably well for what it is. The only problem with it is the idea that it was occupied, or known even, in the 9th century. In fact, it is extremely likely that it was not known. That should be the underneath of the temple. It's like directly below me, isn't it? Okay, it's right here.
Thuman, guide me.
Gotcha.
The Temple of Mithras.
I think so, yeah. I think
Guarded
this...
through a
I'm
temple
pretty...
of old ruins. I need to find the entrance.
Wasn't that thrilling. Where's the aqueduct? The aqueduct's right here, too. So... Before we actually do that, I want to instead try and find... the cluster of objects that makes it very clear that there's an Assassin's Bureau around. Let's see if we can take a look at the map here and find our extremely suspicious location. Looks like it's up. Looks like it's right there. I am willing to bet money that that is the entrance to our Assassin's Bureau. So yeah, the Temple of Mithras was in use in the mostly 2nd and 3rd centuries, potentially into the 4th century, but with the abandonment of the city in the early 5th century, beyond any doubt, it is totally forgotten, and in fact remains abandoned and buried throughout the Middle Ages. It was only discovered in the construction projects in the, I want to say early... Yeah, that's totally the... That is absolutely the entrance to the Assassin's Bureau. Let's go. Into the swamp. So, yeah, they are just kind of rolling with it for some reason. The chest is locked. God dang it. Where's the key? Okay. Key's over here. I know it's in this area. I just don't remember exactly where. Is it outside the walls? Fine. Oh yeah, by the way, there's just a bandit camp inside the walled city. Which is if the game wants this city to be abandoned, I don't mind there being a bandit camp. If they want the city to be a bustling metropolis of multiculturalism, hey, look at that. I found it. If they want it to be this bustling metropolis, then
Survey the area, Sunan.
There's the key. That's actually underground already. Now we just need to locate our path down. It's right here. By the way, the path down is right here in this not at all suspicious collection of stuff. Totally non-suspicious, don't worry about it. Good, you will let me climb up. And down we go. You know, no one could have possibly discovered this site with that giant ring of wood from question mark years ago. Now, given that everyone in this game is freaking obsessed with Rome, you would think that they would have looted this place dry like a long time ago. It's not like the puzzles here are actually particularly hard. But here we are. Look at that, just like 3 guys, and you'd be able to open that other entrance. Super easy. Oh, of course. How could I have been so foolish? The leap of faith completely negates gravity. You'll go splat otherwise. Also, I can't see anything. Good thing we have like an entire scuba mask's worth of, an entire oxygen tank's worth of air in our lungs. Because that makes perfect sense. Come on. Seriously? Eivor, are you stuck? Eivor nearly got stuck. Oh, you can just make that jump. Okay. Wasn't this exciting? Well, there's where we're going. Okay, now where do I need to explode? Right there. Nay. Climb up. Just gonna explode that. Don't mind us. That doesn't sound good. And we did it. Ta-da! The Magas Codex. Hey, look! Is it AC Origins? It's AC Origins. Ta-da! And... Huh. Yeah. So, apparently, when Hadrian's northern campaigns that resulted in, Hadrian's Wall tried to get stopped by the assassins, and that first century... Also, Eivor is able to read first century Latin, which has the format of a modern mission report, and is done in a 8th or 9th, yeah, I'd say 8th century insular unseal on a scroll. Game what? Yeah, freaking bots. Just a moment. So, the languages we know Eivor knows are Old Norse, Old English, Classical and Medieval Latin, Old Irish, possibly Archaic Irish. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! A dark age is coming! Yeah, that's isn't that the medieval style of knife? I feel like that's not a Roman knife. Also, the arrows are fine. The arrows have not rotted. Here we go. Right. That's an English axe. So yeah. Theoretically, what this is supposed to be is presumably in the 5th century, as the Roman military basically just withdraws completely. The government or the empire in Rome makes no effort to maintain England. So the local leaders, the Romano-Briton elite, invite in mercenaries to help maintain their power from Frisia and Denmark and Germany.
Be gentle if they
The mercenaries then decide to stick around. What? Why? There's literally no need for this. Literally no need for them to have done that.
Let's not waste time.
Oy vey. We're gonna try and not do murders, so let's get... If Eivor will climb a bloody building for once in her life, we are going to not do murders. Eivor, I wanted you to jump to the tree, rather than jumping into a spot where there are more enemies. Oh, hello, Q. Sorry. We'll be back. Bye. Bye. Run. I wonder if that counts as hidden. Am I sufficiently hidden? I am sufficiently hidden. There's no way you can see me. Bushes are too strong. Okay.
Hang on.
Shoot the troll-kissing coward!
In for the kill.
Dang it, they know where I am. Tragedy of all tragedies. They notice me murder someone literally in front of their eyeballs, and then just crouch. Okay, but like, is there an actual set parkour route across this town? I know there's supposed to be. But this feels just bad. Really? I was actually out of... I wonder where we can get in there. Right there, in that lock. Hello. Bye. Goodbye. There is a lock on that. Fine. We'll kill everyone inside here. What was that attack, my guy? Oh my god, there are like 7 of them. This is absurd.
No, you're dead.
Problem solving. Also, don't know why that's how they kept the key safe. Don't know how or why they chose to keep the key safe by doing that. They did. It was a decision that was made by real people, supposedly. But it doesn't sure look like it, because this game truly does not make sense most of the time. I'll be honest, this game just doesn't... I don't think it knows what aesthetic it's aiming for. And so it does, like, simultaneously trying to do Viking and Roman, and then also create interesting puzzles for the player, and so manages to fail at all of the above. So anyway, back into the Mithraeum.
Gods here are vigilant.
With fairly limited resources, we aren't in great shape on adrenaline here. But that's okay. Nailed it. Luckily, it's nighttime, which means everyone's sleepy and not paying attention. Or something. Yeah, you don't see anything. See? You don't see anything. You especially don't see me stabbing this guy. Nope. See? Noticed. Nothing. Oh no, he's under an awning. I can't stab him. Frustratingly though, it actually is kind of frustrating. Because these guys are not... not the easiest to take out. Oh good, he's all about his lonesomeness. He chose to go on a patrol, which means I can murder the heck out of him. Boop. Easy. This is why you don't go on patrol. If you just stay still, then it's way easier for everyone. Ta-da! They really should have just done Rome, right? They should have just... They try so hard to make England Roman that they don't actually make England the way it should be.
Tools for searching, finely crafted, like we found in the villa. And
So-
there's a letter here, arranging payment to a blacksmith.
Right, so now, I guess to talk about, you know, medicine, since that's a thing that supposedly our guy or person does. We have a medical text from early England. That's actually pretty cool. It's called Bald's Leech Book. It's a thing created in the... I want to say it's like 8th century. Oh, I'm missing a thing over on this side. Okay. I want to say it's 8th century.
Compass holds sway over the others. He is
And it provides all sorts of medical treaties for all sorts of
Worth a
everything.
visit.
Oh yeah, more spriggles. What, you mean this one? You mean this statue of Mithras killing the bull? Yeah, this is the actual statue in the London Mithraeum. But, didn't you know that, the Cult of Mithras was actually just the Order of the Ancients again? That's totally how that works. It's not like we have any sort of idea of what Mithraic traditions looked like and the cultural context surrounding them. Wait. Oh, wait. We do. I'm not super familiar with it because I didn't have time to do any research on Mithras specifically. But I happen to know plenty of religious studies people in my Discord server, which the link is in the description, who will be more than happy to talk about Mithras. Because he is pretty cool. Or link is in the about section of the stream. Sorry. Description of the YouTube video that this will be uploaded as. But the about section of this stream if you want to join there. Anyway. So, yeah, they try randomly to fit it in, and I don't think they succeed, because why would they succeed? Britain Shield. Well, gee whiz, that sure is a Irish runic symbol. Is the... yeah, that's what I thought. So, here's a question for y'all. This shield is made out of steel. Bands of steel, with bands of steel on top of it, with a design engraved in steel. It then is covered partially with leather. Anyone want to take a stab at why? I don't. I sure don't want to make a stab as to what the heck they're doing there.
Messages between the leech and the compass.
Uh-huh.
Gutting. The leech is a strange one, but the compass calls the strikes.
So yeah, Bald's Leech Book, since there is a leech here, is written in Old English and provides cures for all sorts of maladies, such as eye disease with a poultice made out of honey and a couple other stuff that I don't remember off the top of my head. Some of them actually still work, because medieval medicine is evidence-based. And it is based entirely on what worked. And there's complicated theories in order to explain it. Right?
Erke and Stowe must see all this. I see more bloodshed in London's future. At least soon and we'll feast.
Uh-huh. Liber Antiquae Deorum, the Book of Ancient Gods. Let our wretched origins be known. We are the instruments of the ancient gods. We are the refuse of an ancient world. Yep, okay. This is basically the statement of purpose for the Order of the Ancients. The Father of Understanding, who I believe is Caesar? The Mother of Wisdom inspires us. The Sacred Heart voice fills our hearts with boldness. Let it be known. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. In the name of Mithras, the last warrior, go forth and dominate. So yeah, they're extremely explicit that Mithras is somehow deep lore for the Order of Ancients, and I don't totally get it. Anyway, Britanniae Sanctae. Dang it, I still can't quite read the Latin. Qui... That looks like it's a... Encundus? Ugh, the lighting is not good enough. Also, I think my graphic settings may want to be one tick higher. Oh, okay. Father, Mother, and Boy, fine. We'll see them later in this game too, by the way, Peter. If that's what they're doing, fine. These look like it's plausible enough Latin, though I'm not... Civilis crescas matribus domesticis. Civilization grows by the domestic mothers of something, presumably. That is not nearly well preserved enough. That bottom line is not nearly well preserved enough for me to make out. I am not great at reading Latin inscriptions, but the ligature style makes sense. Some of these truncations make sense, like I see an NN. NN with a bar across it. That might be nunc. But this is some kind of abbreviation that I believe is attested. And then libertus, liberty. I have no idea if these are actually just copy-pasting museum pieces. I would not be surprised if they were. I would not be surprised if they weren't. I don't know either way. The thing that is kind of spooky though, and I don't know enough about the Mithraeum to actively disprove it, but this looks wrong to me, is these skulls and walls. Right? Because these are like a veneer, an incredibly thin veneer of brick for PNGs of skulls. But the idea is presumably it's like one layer of brick and then an outer layer of brick, and then literally the rest of the wall is just bones. That is a thing that gets accused of happening a whole lot and is very rarely identifiable as having happened. And I don't believe that's a thing that happens in Mithraic context, but I don't know that for sure.
Attack on sight here.
But yes, it does look an awful lot like it's... Oh, crap. Don't worry about it, you didn't see me.
Something's going on.
He didn't see me somehow, don't worry about it. Howdy. Womp. Oh, you knew what I was instantly then. Okay. Fine. Easy. But look at this. The person uses delicate come on. The leech needs to use all these delicate, complicated searching tools to decapitate someone when we just hit them with an axe. And their heads go flying off in the cleanest cut imaginable. Someone overthinks their job. Someone is severely overthinking their job. I heard Old English. I can't understand a word he's saying. Are you okay? Sir? Sir? Kitty. Hello, kitty. He has the strangest accent for Old English I've heard in a long time. He is speaking Old English. I was able to pick out a few words. Like, the last word he said was swilche, which is, like, very or truly. It's basically equivalent with sotliche, which is sooth. So if you hear, like, a soothsayer, that's a very Old English word for truth. You can pick up the kitty. Hey! Hey, I have known plenty of cats that adore belly rubs. And then there's some that decide belly rubs are playing, and they'll maul your face. And it's all in good fun.
It's worth knocking on a few doors, that's all I'm saying.
Tigger wasn't killed because you want to plant a few trees and fix a few roofs in London.
Looks less like a meal for crows in here.
A little bit.
Hey, what? You bring good findings, I hope?
A few sheets of vellum, notes between members of a secret society.
Uh-huh.
The Order of the Ancients, they're called.
Order of the Ancients? Doesn't sound any bells in this head.
What's
the purpose?
It's complicated.
It will take some time to explain, but know this, that I am here to kill them. In London, it seems the compass is the head. The arrow
their purpose is complicated. It involves, like, capital P plot, and we ain't here for that.
We know anything we can act on.
It's very dumb.
The arrow is a Dane who has seen his share of battle. His name suggests that he's an archer.
Uh-huh.
I bet my knuckles he's the one sowing discord among the Danes that shelter in London.
If it were me, I'd hide among my ranks, surrounded by other fighting men.
The arrow has orders from the compass to recruit soldiers at a market in the west.
I know the very place.
And the leech has been buying slaves.
I can't say why.
London likely had a slave market, though it's hardly the most important slave market in England. That would probably be York for the main English slave market, with trade then going into Frisia and to Ireland. But, you know, it still is likely that there was a slave market in London.
The compass is a mystery.
A little bit earlier and possibly even a little bit later. Slavery isn't officially outlawed within the borders of England until William the Conqueror. So, yeah.
Captains are a transient sort. And maybe he's far away, keeping quiet.
That may be, but would he scream if we cut off his hands?
Oh, you've a filthy mind for strategy.
We kill the arrow and the leech, then sit back and wait. Let the compass come to us.
Oh, this goes flawlessly, I'm sure.
Let's not waste any more time. We will find the arrow and the leech. Killing both should drag the compass back into port. Stowe, I'll catch you at the Western Market.
Count on it.
And I'll make for the keys. There's another few bodies there to fish out of the muck.
It could be the leech is back at work.
God be with us, friends. Go in his name, and be protected by him.
Alright. Time to do, wait, Assassin's Creed 1. Oh, wait. Darby McDevitt explicitly confirmed that in each of the 3 major cities in this game, the missions we are doing are basically just Assassin's Creed 1. Under a different guise. Different plots stringing them together, but the same set of kills. That's assassination damage, isn't it? Yeah. So, let's, take on the leech, I guess. Right, what's the order of things? So we've got someone who's, trying to heal people by, experimenting on them. You know, like the leader of the Hospitalers did in Assassin's Creed 1. We've got someone who, is recruiting. Let's see, so London is supposed to be Acre, so where are the three there? We've got the leader of the leader of the Teutonic Knights, Sigbrand. We've got the leader of the... Oh, Sigbrand is the compass, is the cognate of the compass, I should say. We got the leader of the Hospitalers, who's the leech. And then, I can't remember who the last one is in that city. Oh, it's... Duh. I know who it is. It's William. William of Montferrat. Who should be the cognate of the arrow. Trying to, like, build up a military force to actually deal with the people who are ruling this city. So, yeah, why don't we start with our leech here and figure out what the heck they are up to. By the way, you can absolutely just ID them off of the fact that you can zoom in on their faces and see them. So, that's a thing. Wow, game chugged a little bit there.
I should not be seen in this area.
Let's go, actually, on the way, though. It's only a slight detour to go take on one of these world events. And, you know, actually, like, clear out the city a little bit. Do some stuff. Find, hopefully, something interesting and not dumb. Okay, this is something. Hello? What's up?
You. What is wrong?
Thank the gods! I wanted to get the new shipment done early, and accidentally boxed myself in.
If that is all, I can get you out.
Not so fast. Avoid breaking the jars. The sauce is delicious, but smells like a sun-soaked fish barge.
Well,
Please,
that's
make
fair.
a path through the jars so I can get out. And don't break any. The smell is awful.
Uh-huh. Okay. So we don't need to move any jars on this side. Nothing moves. So we can put the jars over there. These are in fact jars of garum, and garum is in fact not a thing at this point in time. For anyone who doesn't know what garum is, you're lucky, first of all. And second of all, it is a fish sauce that was moderately popular, okay, extremely popular in Roman times. And the way it's made is you take fish, and then you take a layer of fish, and then a layer of salt, and then a layer of spices, and then a layer of fish, and then a layer of salt, and then a layer of spices, and then a layer of fish, and then etc, etc, until you fill up the entire barrel, and then you leave it in the sun for a long time. And the whole thing ferments. And at the end, you, at the end, what you need to do is you need to unbox it and fish out all the bones, and the thing that drains out, the liquid that's at the bottom, is garum. It is exactly as it sounds. There is a perverse desire to try it, but it's the same perverse desire that leads me to want to try something like Hauka or Jepson's Malort. Right? There's not a desire of, is this good? There's a desire of, is it truly as bad as it sounds? The answer is usually yes, and so I've learned to resist that desire. I've learned this the hard way a couple of times. Because, oh man, gross food derived from fish is a very real thing. And it's not a good time. It's generally not... Oh yeah, no, that exactly. Niram, we missed it, but it's in Leicestershire. There's a world event in which we are trying to help invent Leicestershire sauce. Which, it fails, and the person goes, maybe I'm gonna move to Worcestershire. And thus, we actually help invent Worcestershire sauce. Also, yeah, incredibly, way early for that. Right, that... Not a thing at this... in the Middle Ages. Garum is also not a thing in the Middle Ages. What they did instead was, you know, import spices. Even in this period, you were able to import stuff from the Mediterranean all the way into England without too much hassle. They had the power. It's not even actually that hard. I don't want to put that there. I really don't want to leave that jar of garum there. And so, by the 13th century, there are actually laws in London saying that if a butcher is caught selling rotted meat, they are incredibly fined, and it was doubly illegal to either salt or pepper the meat as a way to try and preserve them. Okay, let go. And...
Thank the gods you've unblocked me.
Yes. Yes, I have. And I didn't even break the garum. Huzzah.
You must have the grace of a cat. Not a drop spilled, thank the gods. I owe you my freedom.
I wonder if I get improved rewards. The demon odor at the time. Yep, smells terrible. I didn't even get a reward for it. Jerk. What was the point of me putting all that effort in when I could have just smashed them all and been done with it? Okay. The most reasonable dual-handed weapon.
Yeah. New corpses every day.
Well...
How many bodies is that now?
A score have been uncovered.
Exactly, Peter. Eating rotten meat makes people sick.
Their eyes are scooped out.
The,
empty caverns. Same as Trigger's gods.
There must be hundreds of people passing by here each day. Anyone see them dumped?
The city had a vested interest in not making people sick, as it turns out. And butchers had a vested interest in not selling rotten stuff. Though other ways of cutting costs definitely happened. Dubious meats existed. Actively rotten meats was illegal. Which, you know, suggests that people did it. But you're absolutely losing... If that's a way to cut costs... pepper...
Take a breath.
Oh, thank
Pepper is a thing.
Such a fear I would find her down here. She works errands for
Since the 10th century, I want to say, there's pepper easily accessible in England, imported through all the way from South Asia.
She works for a blacksmith. Do you know where?
Never told
But
his name, nor
pepper is expensive,
tight-lipped
as it
about
turns
everything
out. It's
this
not
stubborn
super duper
girl.
expensive, but
I
it also
haven't seen
wasn't
her in
cheap,
2
given that
days
you had to
and feared the worst.
transport it
In
across
London,
the
he was
world.
always feared the worst.
So,
What
if you're
sort
trying
of
to
job
cut
did she
costs by
have?
selling dubious or rotten
She would
meat,
make a delivery,
you're losing money if you put pepper on that as an attempt to disguise it.
You know the name of the man.
Nay,
Brilliant.
but I wish I
Brilliant
did.
strategy.
I would box his ears and harvest his nuts.
Anything else you remember?
I had a neighbor once
Nine-
tell me
wait.
she saw Regna.
Are you German, Gilda?
Lingering for a time under the London Bridge.
Because she said 9.
Worried me sick hearing that.
That's
a good
not
place
that's
to
not
start.
any of the
Thank you, Gilda.
English or Norse ways of saying that.
A shady
It's
smith,
it's nay.
decent child. It's a lead
9
with
is
some
German.
weight.
London
Or
Bridge
Frisian.
after sundown.
I guess she could be Frisian.
Good. I'll hang about here and keep things calm. And Eivor, don't drop your guard around these thugs.
Do I look like one who could?
Anyway, I see. A weapon change. So, we are going to remove this. Actually, I guess we'll do it this way. We'll select which one we're doing here. Which is probably this. That's probably our most reasonable. It's either that or that. Potentially that one. Any of these above are probably fine. So, well, if you have no strong preferences, I will, use this one because it's my most upgraded. And then if we select the same one on this... Oh. Fine. There. Is now in our main hand. Let's see. We also have new things here, don't we? We have the Hidden One's mask. That's pretty stylish. Won't lie. Not bad. We also have another light bow. We also have upgrades to these cloaks. Wow. You upgraded several times and it still is bad. What is the point? Okay, so somewhere over here, there's someone trying to be sneaky, but there's also a world event. This world event is kind of silly, so we're not going to do it. Actually, that's not true. We can get profit off of it by being a jerk, so we will actually do that.
Just wait until nightfall.
And we need to hide right there until nightfall for the plot to happen.
Care to test your skill at Orlog?
Oof. Okay. My game is starting to lag quite badly, so
I heard the
that's
king
unlucky.
was carrying more in candies and spice from Axum. He had a hefty necklace
Ooh.
in there too.
Oh, look at that. Speaking of trade,
Send the whole boat into the drink then. Bloody shame.
wait,
Worth a pretty penny.
you know about the wait, my dude, you know about the compass by name? But Trigger didn't until Alfred had to go, oh, spoilers, until Alfred warned him?
House's sunken treasure?
Yeah, the current's too strong to pull the wreck out, so we're left to lament the loss. You interested?
I am a strong swimmer. I fear no cold, current, or dringer of the deep.
Then by all means.
Oh, by the way, our metal brooch
Scrape together a
contorts
reward
quite
fit for the
spectacularly.
cargo's rescue.
I'm proud of it. AC, I don't think so. Right, this is at the point where Aksum has been subsumed by the Abbasid Caliphate, and then also around the time where we're starting to get the idea of Ethiopia being someplace different in the European conscious. We're a little bit early for that, okay, we're about 200 years early for that, for Prester John to start showing up, and 500 years for Prester John to become the biggest deal. But at the same time, I don't think Aksum exists. Oh, 940. Okay, never mind. Wikipedia. Wikipedia has contradicted me, and in this case, I will actually trust Wikipedia over myself.
A message in a bottle. Ah, wise.
So,
Hid a necklace
anyway,
in a cow's stomach. Guess you'll have to go
there's
fishing
also,
for the rest
though,
of the treasure.
the idea is, I guess, that I don't think, I don't actually have fishing, so we'll have to try and just shoot the fish out of the water. Yoink. Is this our fish? Where is our fish? Where did our fish go? Did our fish despawn? Oh no, it's just like getting mauled by the current, I think.
Slippery bastards. Must be the necklace. There's a lot of silver. Why shouldn't I keep it?
It is a lot of silver. Are we going to keep the necklace, chat? Why shouldn't we keep the precious? It is, after all, ours, our birthday present. It's not actually our birthday, but... Are we going to keep it?
I have the treasure you seek.
Do you? Please, give it here then.
Decisions. Anyway, Niram, I was going to say something else about Axum and AC as well. There is a question here, and I think, actually, a question that I know how to answer. Give me a moment to look it up. Because regardless of whether there was actually the country of Axum that actually existed in this time period, the question is, would people label something else Axum, just on the grounds of it being a known place from classical texts, and therefore trying to fit it into the geography of the world? And the reason why I say I know how to identify that is that there's actually a world map from the late English period. Okay, I've got one vote for giving it to them. Chat, what are the rest of you thinking? I'm seeing one vote. Are we a terrible human being or not? While I am looking this up, you guys all cast your votes. There's Alexandria. Labia, Ethiopia. Kinocephalus.
I found this necklace in the guts of the fish. I could not get rid of the smell.
Even reeking of fish, this is priceless. Many thanks.
Mons. Here, let me pull it up on the screen here so that you guys can all see
no
this
rabbit
too.
Today.
Give me just a second to download the image of this map in preferably ludicrous detail. Come on, British Library, don't betray. 1660 by 2000. That's the level of detail we like. So this map is found in Codin Tiberius B51 is the manuscript, which is a lovely manuscript on literally every level. It's one of my personal favorites. I've done research on it before, and kind of the way it just collects stuff. And I do mean that quite literally. It is named stuff. It's called a miscellany, which means it has a whole bunch of things in it, like, well, there's the map in rather excessive detail. Let's shrink that down so it fits on screen. Ta-da! So, there's the map in question. Europe is on the bottom left. Africa is on the bottom right. Yeah, I don't have an easy way to rotate that, Niram. Unfortunately, I can't just twist the thing in the... Potentially, actually. Transform. Never mind. I can actually rotate 90 degrees clockwise. There we go. I figured out how to do the thing. And then we will take a look at it. There, you can see, there's Europe, there's Africa, and then there's Asia. The Black Sea is the piece of water up top, and England is that horribly mangled shape off to the side. Iceland is actually on this map, I believe. I believe that's the one in the top corner. Yeah, it's called Thule. Yeah, it's called Thule. Way up in the top corner there. And then we have Ireland being a blob. And everyone else. Oh yeah, Iceland is literally on top of the Hebrides. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so for Axum, we want to look at kind of the red water, which you can see is actually probably the Red Sea. Because creativity. Hic Dicator over my... that's Sinai. No. Sinai is the green mountain that you can see on the bottom right of the screen. The Arabian Peninsula is past there. There's Egypt and... potentially? Here is said... nope. Nope. There's... nope, nope, nope. Still no. Okay, potentially, the one that looks closest is, you can see the red curl in the very, very bottom of the map. I wonder if I can show my cursor here on screen. Can I show cursor on an image? I feel like I can't show cursor on an image. Yeah, I cannot show my cursor, sadly, but in the bottom right there's that curl of water. And right inside there, there's something that looks like it's... I mean, it reads to me like it's FLUM, but that may be a case of just the resolution causes issues, and that could be either alum or axum as an option. That would be about the right location within the world space too. So I can't definitively say that they thought it existed in the world, but it looks reasonably likely. Well, they actually label Mesopotamia as a place in on this map. That's neat. These maps are fun. These maps are incredibly fun. I will do that in the actually, I can just copy the URL and drop it in chat. Right about now. I will also put it in the Discord server right now. And so make sure you go into the About section to keep track of this. And then you guys will get to see all the stuff. Anyway, voila. Well, after that lovely, lovely detour, back to the game. As the audio totally cuts out. We should be getting close to nighttime too. It looks like it's actually sunset. So anyway, let's go actually like do a stabbing. I suppose we will meditate. That should take us the 2.5 seconds here to nighttime. Maybe? Or did it just take us to dawn? I think it just took us to dawn. How rude. How unbelievably rude. Hey Penguin Ninja, I'm glad you found it. I have a lot of fun doing this. Since, if you don't know, I am a medievalist by training, do medieval history, and I'm working on getting my, or getting accepted to a PhD program to do the study of medieval adaptation in games. So, this is kind of what I do. And we do a variety of games, but right now we're trying to limit ourselves to one big game at a time. And that game is, unfortunately, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We did a full playthrough of Hellblade as one of the first ones on the channel. And then once I can get a hold of a PS5, we're going to have a please run. We're going to be doing God of War basically as soon as I get a hold of PS5 there, in order to be able to, you know, make that.
This clod walk any faster?
Yeah. Basically, I just want to wait for a PS5 because I don't have a PS4 and I don't want to become irrelevant. I need to get a PS5 as soon as God of War 2 comes out. But we did some Age of Empires, we did some Crusader Kings, you know, pretty much the expected history games. And then, as soon as we can, we try and do... Actually, soon we're going to be doing AJRPG or 3. All completed playthroughs are on my YouTube channel, which again, look in the About section of the stream. And you will see kind of a link to the YouTube channel of where all VODs are uploaded. I also do video essays there to try and be more focused on stuff. So, we've only got 2 or 3 up there right now, 1 conference paper and then 2 other things. But as soon as... Oh, you're gonna stop again.
No, just meandering.
Okay, please stop stopping. It's no fun. Anyway, we're going to be doing things once a month there, so there will be one coming up in a few weeks, and then one kind of on environment in this game in March.
Here.
Hey look, there's an equipment. And you know, as far as the gameplay goes for this game, I don't despise it, but at the same time, they make some odd choices. Right, they make some really odd choices about what makes this game fun, and so I think the combat is actually the weakest part of this game. They just try much too hard, and they end up not succeeding very well, to be honest. What? Did anyone see me miss that shot? The assassination side of it is fun, though. I will give it that. Like, it does a really good job on the actual explodey stabby thing, people. So where is this thing? Is it up? It is up. This side of the thing. Here we go! Up into another church. AC, we will go back and we will take a look at that, because I did also notice that there was a very dubious heraldry. There is some dubious heraldry going on. And as to why we get to actually like zoom in with optics on the reticules of these bows. Really, that wasn't a stealth. Ow. Nay. Well, that just aggroed literally the entire camp. Who's ready for some incredibly uninspired combat? Brought to us by lag. Where's the key even? Right, someone had it. Oh, he's right below. Literally right below me.
You die.
Easy. Flawless strategy.
That will cost you.
No. Not even hard. Ow. Not strictly necessary, my guy. You didn't have to do that. You could have survived. You all could have survived. But, no, they decided that they needed to all chase me onto the same side of ladders. And therefore they are all dead. And we get loot. Oh, look at that. We get a hammer. Oh boy. And by the way, in a shocking turn of events, it seems that the lag we are experiencing is not on my end, or is not on the stream's end, but it's actually just the game lagging. So isn't that fun? Anyway, where's our standard medieval.to? There it is. Shockingly medieval. Literally the most generic of generic minor nobles.
Split your skull. Target practice. Come on.
Bye. You're all terrible people, so I don't feel bad killing you. Because apparently, you know... bumped the mic and that made everything lag. So... I hear a double hammer time. Alright. Double hammer, let's go. We actually have 3 hammers right now. We've got the Ukon Vasara, we have this Warhammer, and then we have the Blacksmith's Hammer. So... which one? Which 2? The Ukon Vasara and the Blacksmith's Hammer. Exciting. Is there literally anything else in here for us to care about, or is it just this guy? I think it's just this one guy.
You got the purse I'm owed? Huh? Who the fuck are you?
Does it matter? So. We can be violent, we can be charismatic, or we can pretend we're someone we're not.
I'm a friend, Oya. Your money's with your lad.
What have you to do with him?
I'm keeping him safe. Had a fear he was being followed.
Tch, I knew he was soft. Not like my other girl. She was hard as hog's breath, that one.
What happened to her?
Fell ill a few days back. So I sent her to a good sister Friedeswith. Healer in town.
Hey, we just got our identity.
Got broken bones, a boil on your bum, or too much birth blood? She'll mend you quick.
Yes. You know, AC, Eivor can read literally every other language. I would not be surprised if Eivor can just read the,
what she needs.
Not anymore, you don't.
Oh. Well, that's awkward.
Watch my back.
Well, that's awkward. What a comical special. No, there are in fact. I think both. That one's actually earlier. Like these are Norman. These are 11th century English or Norman shields. That looks like it's a 10th century shield. With generic, you know, Norse swirly things on it. But that's fine. Those all look like they're totally plausible shields. Gee, I wish our shields could look like that. You know, they get all of these. Those lovely, lovely axes. Look at that. A perfectly reasonable, well, slightly large head, but generally reasonable. Like, those ones are especially are reasonable Dane axes. And we have to deal with this all the time. Right? Totally fine period-attested stuff. And we get this nonsense. Or this nonsense. Or, this.
We walk together.
I mean, I get something for there needing to be visual interest on something you have to look at a lot, but come on, it would be so easy to make it so much less bad. Yeah, don't mind me. Hi, cows. Hi, cows. Bye, cows. As I mentioned in the overview of London earlier in the stream, large parts of the city, even the walled city, were used probably for pasture land. So having the cows right outside the city walls instead of inside the city walls is actually kind of weird. It would still be done, of course, but you would expect to see the cows just all over the place. Cows literally everywhere. Anyway, I'm running the complete wrong direction, and I know. Oh wait, no I'm not actually.
My eyes.
In a shocking turn of events, I'm actually running more or less the right way. I am just detouring to gather money. And by money, I mean not historically attested medals for weaponsmithing. Are you straight down? You are straight down. God dang it. Why the hell are you... Is this something from the Mithraic or from the... Was that something inside the Londinium Bureau that I just missed? I feel like that was something I just straight up missed inside the London Bureau. Oh well. I don't need nickel that badly, I can buy it. I see it. I see it. Pandemic's over, folks. We are now in the post-apocalyptic raider wasteland. And I hope you're all ready.
Stretch your wings, Sunan.
The Bone Boys are back in town.
Let's go hooded here. This is where the leech dissects her prey.
Yep. Yep, it is. Sure do be. Once again, this big square Roman building that we know exists in the 5th century, and that almost certainly doesn't exist in the 9th. Yeah, about that. Uh-oh. My game just crashed. Well, folks, the game crashed. which luckily autosaves all the time. But this means it's a great time for us to take a quick break. I will reboot the game, but we're going to take a very short ad break. It'll be 1 minute. If you want the ad-free viewing experience, do consider subscribing to the channel. It helps a whole lot. But yeah, 60 seconds ad break. I'm going to reboot the game and get more water, and then we'll be right back. Okay, apologies for the slightly long break there, but we are back. Restored to life with all of this bonus everything. Hopefully no more crashes, and it should have just saved when we entered the building. So we don't think we even lost any progress. I think it just gave up the ghost. Let's see, where are we? Yep, we are just right here. Perfect. That helmet does not get better. Yeah, you didn't realize how bad it was, did you? The guards are in different spots this time. Hi. You saw nothing. Flawless. There we go. Need to show off the cloak.
We should be cautious around here.
Uh-huh. So there's a target. And there's a somebody right there. Come on. Grr. I can get over the top with this. And then... No one hurt? No one hurt. Flawless. Absolutely flawless stab. Definitely what I meant to do. Definitely what I was trying to do. Definitely didn't screw that up and then had to panic salvage.
One more, that's all.
nearly finished.
So
That's
Frida
enough.
Smith is a little bit crazy.
Oh, it's you.
For all the dead we collect, dear sister.
Yep.
You and I are equals.
A little
Quite
bit.
a charnel house. I'd lost count of how many. I
Yeah.
suppose I've been greedy in my research, but not for lack of care. The ancient ones, the arbiters, they built us out of simple pieces. So easy to
I
break,
like her little
difficult to
booklet
mend.
thingy.
There must be an improvement. We should be stronger, faster, smarter.
Like her pouch
I could
thing
have
on her
fixed
belt,
us.
I actually
I
really
could have
really
made us
like.
better.
Actually,
We are
her
blood
overall
and
outfit,
bone and spirit,
I
Frida
do
Swift.
genuinely like.
Perfect
That is
as
all
we
kind
are.
of period attested stuff, and really high quality period attested stuff. So
You've such beautiful eyes. Finish it. Would you?
aw, she seems lovely apart from all of the murder. But yeah, we don't get to actually see that. Certainly not enough resolution to actually do that, but maybe if I haven't aggroed everyone. Right, if there isn't a massive pile of aggro when I walk out of this, yeah. Almost peaceful. So it looks like this is actually a book. Yeah, okay. This is one of these travel books that are tested from this period, but are more common. Ugh. Navigating the camera is hard. More tested from later. Oh, weird. Hang on. Never mind. There's a weird going on. That's Hebrew. What on earth? What on... Now that's so baffling that must be intentional. These kind of travel manuscripts are actually reasonably common, but you don't usually see them in the shape of a pouch like this. Usually they're a small book that then has an enormous cover, so you can wrap it around to help protect the parchment. But I've never seen one that's written in Hebrew, and certainly not one that is written in Hebrew and then has a cross on it. So, I feel like this has to be a museum piece. Oh, that one? That's the Order of the Ancient medallion that we are supposed to take from her. They just didn't make a version of the model without it. So that's our Tree of Life medallion, which is a kind of largely... I mean, it's largely a modern reconstruction symbolism of Yggdrasil. But, yeah. Ketchup... yes, but no, but yes. So, both Arabic and European contexts had the humeral model. Galen was writing in the 4th century, and so writers all over the Latin-touched world were operating off of his writings as kind of an important thing. And both of them are working on an evidence-based model. So if something works, you are retroactively finding explanations as to why it works, rather than trying to concoct brand new things off of it. And ML248, thank you so much for the follow. So, that being said, there is a different kind of, I guess, approach to how to treat medical inquiry emerging largely in the later Middle Ages, but I guess even in the Abbasids, you get to see that. So around this time, you would see some of that, of actively challenging Greek models and bringing in information from other places, and different kinds of experiments. That being said, a lot of the basics of what we're looking at here, of some of the simple diseases or surgical stuff, has been known since ancient Egypt, and that knowledge wasn't lost at any point. Extremely complicated surgeries are done in early medieval Europe, including doing, I don't remember the name of it, but poking a hole in the skull to relieve brain inflammation. Is trepanning, that's what it is. Trepanning was able to be done without killing people, as was putting copper plates on the skull as a way of dealing with fractures, is attested from, I think it's the 12th century in Denmark. So, it's not like medieval Europe was medically unsophisticated, even though their fundamental principle is just wrong. But, you know, Jewish scholars and medical scholars too, obviously were important. Probably the clearest example of that is in the 14th century. I think it's 14th. I don't remember if he's 14th or early 15th. But Maimonides, a Jewish scholar living in the Nasrid Emirate in Al-Andalus in Spain, and just doing incredibly cool work in Cordova. So, yeah. Lots of interesting medical stuff. Medical history is extremely cool and extremely complicated, and archaeology is actually telling us quite a lot about it. Oh, ketchup, but it wasn't Arabic writing. Ketchup, it was Hebrew. So, it's Hebrew with a cross, right? I don't have a problem with a Jewish medical scholar in early medieval England. That's totally fine. While there is not a very large Jewish population in early medieval England, there at least is one, which is not true in the 14th century, because they all got kicked out. But having a Hebrew text with a cross prominently in the corner is weird. Is very weird. Right, there are Jewish populations all across Europe, while, you know, Spain and Baghdad are probably somewhat more, let's just call it, understanding. And actively tolerant. It is not straightforwardly the case, and you really can't even make a vague argument for it, that Europe was monocultural, or that they were totally intolerant of Jewish scholarship and of Jewish culture, and Jewish people existing. There were horrible, horrible atrocities committed regularly, especially in the 14th century, against Jewish populations in Europe. But, at the same time, there are a lot of really, really quality promotions of Jewish scholarship in the translation projects of the 11th and 12th centuries in England, in quarters in France.
A nun, name of
So, whole bunch of stuff going on.
The good sister. That can't be right. She was a saint, a healer, and a gods. That brick fits this week's wall of shit.
And yeah, we have a wolf's head on her face, so
You knew her?
She saved me. Mended a broken leg. Thought I'd lose it. But not with Frida's will. You wouldn't know it was ever broken.
Exciting.
The sands will run backwards now. Without her,
Seriously? Seriously? No. Stop it. Stop it.
Secrets of the human form. How she saved lives.
And how she ended them. It might be the ravings of a mad woman.
AC, yes. The bloodstain is part of this armor set.
Very true. I've built my name selling the heart fix.
I mean, this isn't Bald's leech book.
This was her fix. All her ideas and discoveries written here. Ill-gotten gains.
Right, this is just a leech book.
I have a mind to
This
burn
isn't
that bloody tongue.
the one that's
Is that
really
the right
famous.
call?
I'm gonna keep it.
It has cures for everything. From boils to broken bones. It's worth keeping. We fight wars to save those we love, and pay in blood for what we win. This book, this is your good sister's
I
battle.
wonder if it says... if it's got the cover of it anywhere. It doesn't look like it. I bet it doesn't have a surviving cover.
If you need me, I'll be at St. Paul's searching for something on the compass.
I can put it on my bed. That's in fact what I did. It will sit at the foot of my bed for my evening reading. Because Eivor is totally super, like, hyper-literate in, like, all of the languages. Including, potentially now, Hebrew. I wonder. Yeah, you know what? That can't be a museum piece. The one we saw there cannot possibly be a museum piece, because that's not how the covers of manuscripts work. You don't bind a manuscript in that with text on it in parchment, because the color of it made it very clear that that had to be parchment. So yeah, that must have been an intentional, like, design decision, and I don't know what they're aiming for with that. Is that Brush with Death? Yeah. That's the one that slows time. That's super important. Those two don't connect, so we actually want to just go over here instead. Next level up, we're gonna get the one that slows down time, which ends up being pretty good. Anyway,
be seen in this area.
where are we going to next? Looks like we've got a key right there that we should totally yoink. Hello. You have come to the domain of Maximilian of Londinium, the city's premier collector of ancient treasures, despite what the deluded Octavian claims. Uh-huh. Where is this key? The key is right... Oh. Quite. So, we're just not gonna worry about that. We haven't even, like, built Octavian's thing yet, much less started his quest line. So we're not even gonna worry about it. Hello, boy. Say, hang on a minute.
Go, Sunan.
We've diversified. Apparently, Cleopatra's Needle was brought to London, early. A dubious amount early. I think this is like the... Is this the one I think it is? This might... No, this is once again... This is once again people are sad about the thing. Where is the... I wonder if this is where the pig is. Oh no, sorry, the pig's in Jorvik. Okay. Let's go. So, yeah, London's not amazing in this game. Well, hi. Not fabulous. Has a bad habit of, trying to be the city from several hundred years early, while simultaneously being this multicultural hub. And, on the one hand, you know, I don't actively hate it. Let's just be clear, I don't actually hate this, what they're trying to do with the city here. Trying to make it a place where there's uneasy, you know, kind of uneasy, agreement and multiculturalism going on, but still very present ones.
This could help you in your travel.
And that's, you know, true and good, that they have those. But the way they're doing that is by dressing it all up in a guise of a form that doesn't actually exist or hold any water, because they need the city to be, I guess, big and dramatic in a meaningful way, when that's not really what the city was going for. Right? The city just wasn't that.
This is the current fashion.
Now, what of these are truly tragic? I wonder if there's any awful, awful ones. No, there are not. Okay.
Finish looking around.
AC, the map. The map is nonsense. I mean, let's take a look at. Right, just quick. Take a look at the map of London. And then take a look. Oh no. Please don't do that again. Stay. Okay. The moment I... apparently on this screen, the moment I tab out of the game, it's going to start moving. So, you're just going to have to trust me on what the map looked like. Here. Map. Sorry, Chad, I'm going to cover you up. Map. There we go. Now if we click back into the game and go back down here to take a look at London, you can tell, like, those cities look nothing alike. Those are totally different shapes of coastline. And even if you just restrict it to the walled city, which ends here, right, those are two totally different shapes. That's not the same shape of city. They're condensing the space really, really dramatically. So, it's just a squish for the sake of everything working. Sorry, apologies for the thing doing stuff. I was just moving everything to hide it. Let's go. So, right, you are correct, it is too far westward. But geography is a quibble. Geography of the things the city is doing is a quibble.
Like you could set folks on edge in a square like this. Why not wear a cloak?
Hide my face? Not a chance. It does the people good to see a lawman on the hunt. You and Erke found the identity of the leech.
Some holy healer. She was called Frideswith. Had an appetite for eyes.
If this order can corrupt London's favored saint, what hope do we have?
Any noise yet about the arrow and recruits?
I've heard whispers. Somewhere here, a man gives you a coin, and this coin grants you entry to a contest run by the Arrow's men.
Which man? I see too many here.
He's good at blending in. I haven't spotted him yet today.
I'll sniff around. You stay back.
Eivor, what was your impression of Erke?
No, I don't know why they're doing this scene.
Why doubt him now?
Forgive me. My latest thoughts have been restless. I've been a reeve for so long, fighting for God's justice. I shed my earthly attachments for his great plans.
But you couldn't shed Erke and his friendship.
No. No, I'm not sure I could.
It's good to talk. Unburden your soul. Clears the mind.
AC, probably not. Frideswith is some variation thereof. Frideswith, whatever.
Godspeed, Eivor.
Those are, in some meaningful way, I guess, an attested name. They all mean the same thing, it's just kind of variations on the same premise. And so, it's more likely that Frida is taking an English name rather than this being a reference back the other way.
Is that the coin for the archery contest? Keep off.
This is my coin, my shot. You want one?
I mean, there is a Frideswith who was a nun in the 8th century.
Take for this job is 3 stubs of silver a month. Is that true?
No. And they pay you more if you drag your brothers into it. Hussa's earned a fortune skimming the docks of London.
Hussa.
Hey! Who are you?
I'm no one. Don't mind me. Stop bothering me. Why are you chasing me? Stop it. I have nothing to do with you. God, the stealth in this game is so bad. Look, I need to get past this guy.
Come on, let's go drink.
Yes. And you are my friend.
No casks here after all.
No! Curse you! What manner of uncivilized...
What do you think you're doing?
Who are you? Uncivilized society? Are we? Not very fair.
Yes, I agree.
No, it's not.
I want to talk to you.
Nonsense. This was a flawless victory. Eivor, what part of up is hard for you to understand? One targeting ridicule later. Oh wow, that was a headshot. Huge. Who's aggroed on me? What? No one should be aggroed on me.
This coin is engraved with an image of the London Colosseum.
Indeed. No one saw anything. Understood? Is there a walk button in this game? I feel, I mean, I play on controller, so I just move the stick less. What are the things? There's supposed to be like things for me to... And like people for me to talk to. Do I need to reset the area? Like where did everyone go? Something's gone very weird. Something has gone very weird with this whole area. Oh, right. I didn't need to do anything fancy, I just needed to stab the guy with the coin. Duh. Right, first time I went through this, I went through the other way where I talked to someone and got given a coin and didn't stab things. Yes, Gazishin. Absolutely. You asked, was propaganda a thing back then, like state-sponsored propaganda? Absolutely yes. Though it takes somewhat different forms than what we are familiar with. And thank you, Blue24 Angels, for the follow as well. I'm glad you're enjoying this. So, a lot of kind of our main texts are interpreted through, I guess, political contexts these days. So something like the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, and as the name it is still known by, even though I wish it wasn't. But the so-called Anglo-Saxon Chronicle accuses Ceolwulf of being this foolish king's thane. And being a foolish thane, he therefore is obviously unworthy, and Alfred's son-in-law, Athelred, should clearly be the king of Mercia. Right? Easy, no problem. But coins minted in the reign of Alfred the Great intentionally model themselves off of Roman coins that show... The Roman coins would show the Western Emperor and the Eastern Emperor on each face, as a way to indicate their equality and their kind of joint reign. Alfred mints coins like that in London in 890 that show him on one face and Ceolwulf on the other, which, you know, is a pretty strong hint of these being, well, propaganda of evolving political contexts for Alfred to help negotiate his status within Wessex and within Mercia.
What's your business? Shooting or watching?
You're looking for skilled archers, and now you've found one.
So, that's one of the really clear ones.
Your men are handing out these coins like they were on fire. Is this enough?
It's enough to keep us talking. But I'll want to see how well you handle that bow before you go any further.
Okay.
Want a
Fair.
trial round to test your eye?
I've had enough practice.
Let's just go for it. They're super generous on the times. Let's go. We're just gonna do some shootings.
Hit all targets true before the sand runs down. Here's the new competitor, a Norse from the northern wilds of Mercia. And our current reigning champion, Sayed. All right, take your mark. Hook set, arrows not, fire!
And one, and one, and one, and...
A perfect strike! Hold in spirit, did you see that? Eivor leads to victory!
The other guy didn't even, like, try and shoot. The other guy literally did nothing.
Best I've seen for some time. Well shot! You have earned your place at the Arrow's sides today. He'll be eager to meet you.
Okay.
Show yourself to the Imperial Arch and speak with our man, Hussa.
Voila.
Fight the phrase. May the Father of Understanding guide us. And he'll know it's you.
Hey, look at that.
Arrow is making his speech at the Imperial Arch. On your way now.
Okay, we're heading off to the Imperial Arch to go do a stabbing. Gee, I wonder if we can identify who it's going to be based off the fact that he's the guy who was causing us grief at the beginning of this story arc. Would that be too easy? Would that be suspiciously easy? Also, yeah, the Imperial Arch. Because apparently there's just a triumphal arch. Apparently there's just a triumphal arch in the dead center of London in the 9th century that they still identify as a triumphal arch.
Are you Hussa?
Yeah, and who's asking?
May the Father of Understanding guide us.
And may the Mother of Wisdom give us strength.
Indeed.
You're to stand just there. Look your best when the arrow comes forward.
Yeah, my
Keep
best is
still.
covered in blood, don't mind me.
Friends!
Yeah, I guess while he's talking, to wrap up the thing on propaganda.
A hard week.
Yeah, you sure helped with that.
Cowardly invaders stole
The
into our governor's home.
propaganda needs to look different in pre-modern and restricted literacy environments.
Trigger, my friend, my leader, slaughtered like a dog.
Yeah. And so, one version of propaganda would of course be oral. That you are proclaiming things like this. Demagoguery, rhetoric, public speeches in Rome that happened all the time. And that's actually where, you know, the Gracchi get really going. Cicero gets going in a much similar context. Public speeches are a form of propaganda, a form of guiding people to see the world your way. And so medieval education really focuses on rhetoric and being able to be persuasive when constructing an argument. Medieval education broadly gets divided into the Trivium and the Quadrivium, off of the works of someone like Martianus Capella in the 5th or late 4th century. So the Trivium is grammar, logic, and rhetoric, so learning how to make a good argument. And then the Quadrivium is arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy, and that was our university curriculum. The kind of mathematical sciences.
Trigger was a pillar of steel, but I can try. Let me be
The 9 people. The 9 people who are listening, I'm sure, will care so much. Like, even those guys over there don't care. They're listening to the music. You're talking over the concert, man.
London weak. Listen not to them, friends. I serve only London. I serve you. London is a place of prosperity.
Is it though?
Prosperity we must export.
It's kind of crumbling, my dude. Except it also has Roman roofs.
False kings with their lies.
No. Oh. Ooh, you just did a blasphemy. You just vocally did a blasphemy in the Kingdom of Wessex. Oh. Also, are in the middle of doing an imperialism. We don't recommend doing an imperialism, my guy. You...
Hey!
That's what you get if you do an imperialism around these parts. We don't take kindly to that. And we get another weird-ass memory scene.
Arrows knocked! It's a hard thing to raise the rats of a city into warriors. Hook, set!
You raised no one. You only trapped them in their cowering fear.
And people say video games can't be political.
First wave fire! No, I gave these men order. I gave them purpose.
Yeah, that's a fascism. My dude, that is called a fascism.
Second wave fire! I was arrow for their rage. Without a foe
Yeah,
to consume,
literally Umberto Eco describes this quite succinctly. Our need, nope. And Odin is pro-fascism. Let it all be known here. Yikes.
Justify all you want. You're just a king killer and a coward.
Mighty High Horse, you'd do the same if you were.
No, I wouldn't.
Aim and fire!
Yeah. Odin is the worst person in this game, and that's saying something. Like, an entire stream of bad people, Odin is clearly the worst. And I can't say I like that. You know, Odin... This is unfortunately, you know, kind of super disrespectful to, you know, also true communities. Those people that exist, Cause, yeah, unfortunately, you know, also true and modern reconstructed paganisms have a big issue with white supremacists, finding a reason to agree with, trying really hard to agree with them, I guess, and in a very unwelcome way, and being like, oh yes, we do love this, they are correct. Are you not an enemy? You're just a guy. You're just a guy with a bow. Fair play. Yeah, that's not the language they would have used. Don't worry about it. It would be Skjotan for shoot. The game crashed again. What? This game, my guys, my dudes, my team. There wasn't even warning that it was going to do it this time. It just felt like it. So yeah, this gives me time to actually be, say something coherent? Don't you love when the game crashes and so I don't have distractions? So, basically, modern Norse pagan movements, the also true community, has a big problem with groups like the Odinists, who were unfortunately really early in the development of Asatru, and are really still influential in the United States, being actively white supremacist. And the Asatru community at large denounces these, and tries really hard to distance themselves, their practices, and their gods from romantic nationalism and white supremacist appropriations of these gods. This game said fuck all of them, and decided to make Odin actively a fascist, except for the times where we are playing as Odin, as Havi, and are therefore being a better human being. And so these beliefs don't come from nowhere, right? These beliefs do, and this interpretation of Odin doesn't come from nowhere. There is a huge focus on prosecuting honor and on managing the feud, and basically always, unfortunately, way too often, having someone to fight against, because every insult must be repaid. And every breach of honor must have a matching breach of honor to deal with it. So, they kind of just dial that up to 11. And in dialing that up to 11, they just make him a fascist. That's not cool. That's super not cool. That's super disrespectful to communities that still believe in these gods. And I'm not here for it. You could just use a T, Peter, Ace Niram, you could use, you don't need to use the Tiwa's arrow-shaped rune, though that is, you could just pretend that we're borrowing from the Etruscan alphabet, and are instead actually just using a T. Since the Elder Futhark is derived from Etruscan anyway, I would not be ashamed by that. Right, it's not attested in Old English runes, it's not attested in Frisian runes, it's not attested in Norse runes, but it is attested in Etruscan runes from which all of the above are derived. Yes, you should absolutely make a PG. Actually, that would not even be a hard one, because you would... Well, no, G is complicated. You'd want to invert the T, or invert the P, but do a PG bind rune for Pog. Oh yeah, what is this? It's a tattoo. Fine. Fine. We'll do the tattoos with the power of speed. The power of speed. I wonder if this is one of the tragic ones. Nope, this is not one of the tragic ones. I think it's next week we get the really tragic ones. I think it's the Skryling set is in Vinland. I'm not super... No, maybe it's not. Maybe there are no artifacts in Vinland. I don't remember. Anyway, by the way, plug for next week, Vinland. Vinland is going to happen. It's going to be a time. It's not going to be as much of a time as Asgard was, because I'm more angry about the premise of Vinland than the execution. Well, I'm angry at the execution of Asgard, but that's fine.
You there, you! What is it?
Do you enjoy flighting? Lobbing insults at one another?
I am familiar.
Then I challenge you. But be warned, this flighting's like none you've ever known.
How's that?
This is...
duel of flighting, intent is
so,
first. All
yeah.
rudeness is flattery,
A blessing? A curse? So if you seek to harm me, then simply be kind.
What a lovely request from a very sharp mind.
How charming. Shall we bet?
The hint is, who needs agency among your indigenous people?
Here's my wager. After you, friend.
I stand here in awe at the charm of your face.
Well, thank you. That's very sweet of you.
You're the picture of elegance, beauty, and grace.
Well done.
We are going full in on the wholesome memes.
With excitement when you came along.
Oh, your valor's the subject of story and song.
But yeah.
Wonderful. You've such a great talent for flighting and rhyme.
It is truly a pleasure.
Mostly,
partners sublime.
Mostly, you know, incredibly easy meters.
It's been lovely, a wonderful time. You're skilled with your rhythm as well as your rhyme.
It's been a true joy to take a moment away from London's troubles and trials. You've more than earned this.
Still awful fighting, but wholesomely awful. As opposed to just awful, which is the rest of it. And the rest of it is bad. Anyway, we need to bust one more guy out of jail for the other world event, don't we? Where's jail? Jail's up here. The Crapplegate Fort. We'll just mark that one so we know where we're going. So we're gonna break one guy out of jail, and then we're gonna hop in on the... continuing with the main quest and the final arc, the final mission of this story arc. Wow, it is a foggy, foggy day. Yeesh. Okay. Close enough. Once again, this is the... There he is. Yep. Sure. Truth and love and philandering, by the way. Also a very dead person. Y'all, you need to bury your dead. It's not... It ain't cool. What stuff you're doing there. Don't mind me. Got it. Flawless. Nailed it. No one noticed. How am I supposed to get up? Game? Are you gonna let me go? There we go. Game, please? Game? Are you going to let me do anything? There. Perfection. I mean, it does mean street. AC. It means gate, but it's cognate with Danish gær or Icelandic gata. So it is literally street. That is the old meaning of it. And so in the context of this fort, I think it still is supposed to be the fort on Crapplegada. And not the one guarding the gate of Krepel. Anyway, how am I supposed to get in here? Please let me in. No? Is there a door with a key? No, that's just a door with a door. Let me in! Let me in! Unfortunately, the bug that we used to use, the Dive of the Valkyries, doesn't work anymore, so we can't actually do that. And we can't fire in from up top. We don't have explosives there. Let me in! Right, there's a limited number of ways I can possibly get into this. I've got to bust the barrier to that door somehow. Huh. Okay. That'd be weird, but that's fine. I don't understand. Right, I didn't see an explosive wall on the backside. Didn't see an explosive wall there. I didn't see any of the rest of the stuff there. I can't burn through the floor because apparently that doesn't work. For reason. There's not an explosion there. There's not an explosion there. There's not an explosion on that side. Which means I have no idea how the heck I'm getting in. I have no... Oh, there's a window right there. That's how. I'm smart. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't let me in. Okay then. That window doesn't let me in. Then does crawling in underneath here let me in? Yup. Crawling in through here does. Ta-da! I am good at the puzzles, guys. I promise. Once again, though, we have another book up here. What do we get? I have the upgrade to my dog. I haven't used my dog at all. We need to correct this. Serious lapse of judgment. That's quite. Anyway, there's someone I need to be freeing around here, isn't there? Why do I not remember where he is? Oh well. What?
Stay sharp. Stay sharp.
Uh-huh. Staying sharp. Oh, seriously?
That's new leather.
Nobody noticed a thing. Seriously? Yeesh. Yeah, you can't see anything. You saw nothing. I don't exist. See? That's a lot of prisoners.